the vast timeline of Middle-earth, the Second Age stands as a bridge between the divine beginnings of Arda and the epic tales of the Third Age. It was a time of rising kingdoms, the seduction of power, and the slow return of an ancient evil that would shape the world's fate for millennia. This era spans over 3,000 years and is filled with legendary events, lost kingdoms, and the forging of fates. The Second Age begins after the catastrophic defeat of Morgoth, the first Dark Lord, in the War of Wrath. Banished into the void by the Valar, Morgoth leaves behind a broken world, scarred by centuries of conflict. But even in his absence, evil is not vanquished, for his most loyal servant, Sauron, survives the war and hides in the shadows, patiently plotting a return to power. With Morgoth gone, the world enters a period of healing and reconstruction. Elves who once fought in the wars of Beleriand found new realms like Lindon, ruled by Gil-galad, and Eregion, where the smiths of the Gwaith I Myrdain begin their craft. Dwarves strengthen their mountain kingdoms, most notably Khazad-dûm, the mighty Dworodelf, delving deep and prospering. Men of the Edain, having fought bravely in the First Age, are rewarded with the island kingdom of Numenor, a gift from the Valar. This island rises from the sea, shaped like a star, and becomes home to a powerful and noble people destined for greatness and for tragedy. Numenor grows rapidly, becoming a beacon of learning, seafaring, and military power. Its people are granted extended lifespans and wisdom far beyond ordinary men. For centuries, Númenorians explore the world and form close alliances with the Elves, especially those of Lindon. But as time passes, pride and fear of death begin to cloud their hearts. They grow resentful of the immortality of the Elves and begin to question the ban of the Valar, which forbids sailing west to the undying lands. This envy becomes a crack through which Sauron will later strike. Sauron, meanwhile, builds strength in secret and re-emerges in Middle-earth under a fair disguise, calling himself Annatar, the Lord of Gifts. He befriends the Elves of Eregion, especially the great smith Celebrimbor, and teaches them the craft of ring-making. Together, they forge the Rings of the Power, meant to preserve order and beauty. But Sauron secretly forges the One Ring in the fires of Mount Doom, binding his will to it and intending to control all the other rings. When the Elves realize his treachery, a brutal war erupts. Eregion is laid to waste, and Celebrimbor is tortured and slain. Sauron claims many of the Rings of Power and begins to corrupt the kings of men and dwarves, sowing chaos. During this time, Numenor reaches the peak of its pride. King Ar-Pharazôn, seeking to dominate all lands, sails to Middle-earth with an overwhelming force and captures Sauron. But this is exactly what Sauron desires. As a prisoner, he worms his way into the king's council and turns the Númenorians toward the worship of Morgoth. Temples are raised, human sacrifices begin, and Sauron whispers lies about immortality and forbidden power. Under his manipulation, Ar-Pharazôn declares war on the Valar and sails west to Aman. This blasphemous act triggers the wrath of the Valar. The world is reshaped, Aman is removed from mortal reach, and Numenor is drowned beneath the sea. It is the greatest catastrophe since the War of Wrath. Only a small group of faithful Númenorians, led by Elendil and his sons, Isildur and Anarion, survive the downfall. They sail to Middle-earth and establish the realms of Arnor and Gondor. From Mordor, Sauron returns, building his fortress Barad-dûr anew. In response, the last alliance of elves and men is formed, led by Gil-galad and Elendil. Together, they march on Mordor in a final, desperate attempt to defeat the Dark Lord. The siege of Barad-dûr is long and brutal. In the end, Sauron is defeated in single combat, though Elendil and Gil-galad perish. Isildur cuts the One Ring from Sauron's hand, ending his reign. But instead of destroying it, he keeps the ring as a prize, an act that ensures Sauron's spirit survives into the Third Age. The Second Age teaches that power, if untempered by wisdom, leads to ruin. It is a story of rising empires, hidden betrayals, and the dark allure of immortality. And though it ends in fleeting victory, the seeds of future evil are already sown. If you're enjoying the lore of Middle-earth, don't forget to like and subscribe for more epic tales.